Hello, hello, welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Tuesday, August the 5th, and we're here to do sprints for the next 2.5 hours plus about 9 minutes. And this is time carved out for you to do reading or doing a project, being creative, or just closing your eyes and relaxing after a day. Whatever it is that is your self-care, this is your time to do something for you because you deserve it. I'm going to be probably crocheting and listening to an audiobook. Hi, Cajun. She says, hi, everyone. I'm reading Murder, Lost and Found, Sophie Sayers' book number 7. Nice. How was your day, Cajun? My days are all mixed up because I don't do the morning show every day, which I'm enjoying, but it's still, I'm a bit confused on what days are days. And we said, I'm working on folding some laundry. Did all my bedding and towels today. Nice. When does school start there? I can't remember. Hi, Heather. Hi, everyone. I am reading a Gothic dark academia called Every Exquisite Thing by Laura Stephen. Nice title. Emily said, and then I'll be reading Bloodmarked. Ah, yes. I finished earlier today the first book in the coffee shop one by Cleo Coyle. On What Grounds, I think. Is that what that one's called? It was all right. It was a 3. Cajun says, it was good. About caught up. Oh, nice. That's why I hate taking time off. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because nobody does your work for you. You do other people's work, but nobody does your work. I get it. Emily said, next Wednesday. Oh, no, it's our first day. Next week, Friday, is the first day with students. Oh, my. So fast. You guys start early. Here in, I'm going to say Billings, Montana, because I don't know about other places in Montana. They officially start, let's see, Tuesday after Labor Day is for first-time students and new students, and then that Wednesday is for all students. Usually it's like the first 3 days of the week before Labor Day, but apparently somebody finally wised up and said, you know what, this is stupid. So it is after that. Of course, they go probably later. Toya says, continuing on with Case of Blues. Nice. And Amy says, hi, earlier I finished my Ellie Alexander cozy. Now I'm trying to decide my next read. Oh, happy hunting. Cajun says, I know, I went to bring you up this morning. I was like, what? Oh yeah, not today. I know, it's weird. I'm enjoying it. I gotta admit, I'm enjoying it and not having to scrounge up all the romance and fantasy and sci-fi, but it's weird. Heather says, I cannot believe it's August. I know, pretty soon it's gonna be Christmas. I mean, I love fall. Fall is my favorite. I very much look forward to that, but it's like, wow. Esther Jane, hi. I'm reading Shoot, Don't Shoot by J.A. Jance. Classic author. Emily said next Friday is for freshmen and transfer students. We are done the Friday before Memorial Day. Gotcha. Well, I haven't had any skin in the game in the school districts since I graduated high school, which was many, many moons ago. But still, I'm one of those crotchety old people who think school should be year-round. I think they lose too much if they take too much time off in summer. Yes, I absolutely enjoyed having my summers off. I would be very upset if I didn't have them. However, as an adult, I just think they should be year-round and just have a couple weeks off, like spring break. And get off my lawn. I am going to be listening to an audiobook tonight while I crochet. I'm breaking one of my rules. They're my rules, so I can break them. I try not to read the same author, the same series too closely together. Typically, I do one a month just to keep things fresh, because I think if you read them too close together, you start noticing the flaws and the words they start to use and blah, blah, blah. But so over the weekend, I finished The Blonde Identity by Allie Carter. I'm counting it for a Garbogast read. It's a rom-com, but spy-ish. And book 2 came out today. And I got to know what happens with the love story for the evil twin. She's not really evil, but she's like the edgier twin. So I'm just not going to fight it. I'm not going to fight it. So I'm going to listen to that audiobook. It's called The Blonde Who Came In from the Cold. So, and the performances were done well. It's by a male and a female alternating. And so I'm going to listen to that while I work on some crochet. And Amy said, I have too many choices. I absolutely get that. And quite often, I make a list monthly. I look at that and go, what else can I read? So these lists are really things that I'm not going to read. So, but I also started, I'm also not going to fight it. I'm not going to fight it. I'm reading book 2 in the Anthony Ryan fantasy series. First book was Blood Song. Loved it. Gave it 6 stars. This one is Tower Lord, I think. And I got it from the library. So I have that as well. Kyo, don't. He can't lick. Emily said, if schools are year-round, teachers would need to be paid more because we would be working more days. Not true. Of course, I think we are a grossly underpaid profession to begin with. I know you know more than I do about that, but having worked in unemployment insurance, the reason why teachers don't get unemployment during the year, during the summer off, is that they are paid the equivalent of a year's salary, but only work in those months. Just something that they taught us in unemployment insurance. It probably is different from state to state, but that's the way it is in Montana. Hi, Amy. Hi, everyone. I'm currently reading Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne tonight. I changed my name as I'm planning to start, channels on TikTok and BookTube. So a new name with a new start. Cool, Amy. Hi. And I was Amy. Oh, that's a good name, though. Amy Underland Books. Is that your last name? Underland? I like it. And let us know when you're putting up some booktubes. I will join you. Or is it already there and I missed it? A girl wants to know. Did any of you watch Veronica Mars? Either when it was running or after? I watched it after. Fell in love with it until they killed it a handful of years ago at a convention. But up until then, absolutely loved it. Very much a Veronica and Logan ship. But reason why I bring that up is the book I'm about to start, The Spy, The Blonde Who Came In from the Cold, has, when the beginning books has those quotes, she puts in a quote from Veronica Mars that Logan says. That is a very key quote. And it says, I thought our story was epic, you and me, spanning years and continents, lives ruined, bloodshed, epic. How can you not read a book that has a quote like Logan Eccles? And then they killed it. Kim says, hey, y'all. Hi, Kim. How you doing? Emily says, hello, Amy. Let me know when you start your channel. Indeed. And Emily says, I am on TikTok. Oh, cool. I apologize. I will not be following anybody yet. I don't have TikTok. And I don't have Instagram. I check out Tumblr every once in a while, mostly for the royal family stuff. I just like pictures of Princess Catherine and the family. But that's just me. Amy said, no, I got it from Alice in Wonderland. Oh, neat. Alice was always called it Wonderland, but it's supposed to be Underland, if I understand the movie correct. The one with Johnny Depp. Oh, gotcha. I didn't see that one. I've seen, clips. Heather said, Emily, I do not have to talk or I would join. Emily said, meant to say I'm not on TikTok. Oops. That's okay. Heather said, Princess Catherine looks amazing. I know. And everything. Her hair. I love her. How nice that must be. Well, it's probably also pressure, but because she knows she's going to be photographed by an inch of her life. Can you imagine the pressure? And Amy says, I don't have any videos yet, hopefully tomorrow. Okay, let us know. Kim says, going to try and is it under that name? I'll keep an eye out. Kim says, going to try and read some more of the Eve Mallow book, something at Abbey Hotel, I think. Excuse me. And I don't do TikTok or Threads. Well, I don't even know what Threads is. Amy says to Emily, I will let you know. Yay! So, oh, I need to close that door. Once we get started, I'll have to pop off because I left the door open and it's like 80-something degrees out. Don't want to air condition the outdoors, do you? And Heather said, where are you then, Emily? Emily says, Threads is the, oh, okay. Did not know. I don't need another thing to follow. I'm trying to de-digitalize. I think it just takes up too much of my time. That's my personal opinion. Kim says it's tied to Instagram, I think. Okay. Cajun, this and Discord are the extent of social media for me. Oh yeah, I'm on Discord, but I'm sporadic. I'm sporadic there. And Facebook. And that, and of course, these things here. And there's just getting to be too much. Well, I'm of an age that did not have anything digital. I'm the Gen X generation that had the computer stuff happen after high school graduation and wasn't really that much of an impact in college. So it's not really, I know how to live without it. And I remember what it was like living without it. And it was rather nice. So I'm not addicted to it. So while I love instantaneous news and books and stuff, I will use it, but I hate that I waste so much time on it, even as I think little as I do compared to others. That's all I'm saying. Heather says there's getting to be just too much. Yeah. And Emily said to Heather, I made a typo. I do have my YouTube channel, but not TikTok. Gotcha. And Kim said, I thought Blue Sky was X. And Esther Jane says, PK, I'm with you, Facebook and YouTube, and that's all I follow. Toya, Threads is like Instagram, no pictures. Oh, okay. And Heather, okay, I found you, Emily, and subscribed. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, if anybody has a channel or anything they want to share social media-wise, if people want to follow, if you want to put them in the comments, feel free. Emily says, thanks to Heather. Heather says, I also remember the days without. I'm so glad we got to have that experience. We had to enjoy the moment. Indeed, and use our imaginations and amuse ourselves. And there was no such thing as boredom. Because, you know, we knew how to do that without somebody saying, here, do it. We weren't over-programmed. And okay, off my soapbox. Well, let me change the banner here. You know, thank God for books. And Kim says, I do Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube. Gotcha. I don't post on X. I check. I use X for quite often like breaking news. It's usually the first news being reported. So I don't post anything, but I do check for updates on things like that. Kim says, more following others. Yeah. Esther Jane, I love YouTube as I don't have TV. Yeah, I don't really watch TV. I do watch things on the internet like a TV. I follow a person on Patreon who does reactions. I watch booktubes stuff and so forth. But to be honest, we could get rid of our cable packages that we have. Cajun says, true, we didn't have everything instantly and we were perfectly happy. Absolutely. We learned patience. We learned, I think we were the last of the lucky generations. After that, it became digital. Amy said, I have an Instagram page, but only have 170 followers at 5 years. I think I still have an Instagram page. Several years ago, I did the 100 days challenge and was attempting to make jewelry every day for 100 days as my project. I didn't complete the 100 days because it was just too much pressure, but I was posting the things that I made on there, but that was a few years ago. Kim said, I like and sometimes reply on X, but hardly ever post. Oh, I forgot Discord. Yeah, Discord, people use Discord. I don't know how they use it because all I do is like check for scavenger hunt stuff and sometimes post what I've read or that's really about it. I don't know how to use social media. I don't want to learn. It's okay. Emily said, I have been on YouTube for 4 years, 255 subscribers. Nice. I've been doing this. Last month was the 2-year anniversary. So I think, it's a nice way to share your passion and find like-minded people, find your tribe and not have it be necessarily all text oriented, which I'm not bashing at all, but it's kind of nice also to do some face stuff. But I absolutely credit the YouTube videos for teaching me how to crochet. I think it's a great resource for learning things too if you use it that way. Amy said, I do picture book posts on Instagram. Oh, cool. And Heather says, Facebook is all my horse stuff. It has about 6,000 followers. That's a huge handful, baby. That's wonderful. My main YouTube channel, not the Bookeemonsters one, but my PK one, I have like 4. I don't know who they are because I don't post anything. They're probably bots. Kim says, every once in a while I post pictures on Instagram, but that's where I follow Freedom Farmhouse. That has all the kitties. Grand opening of their sanctuary was this past weekend. Oh, I bet there's some great photos too. Cute. Very cute. All right. Well, we are here for 2.5 hours. We'll be doing a check-in at the top of each of the 2 hours and then a final check-in at the bottom of that last half hour, whatever time it is in your time zone. Amy said, I just posted the book cover with a quick review and rating on Instagram. Oh, that's nice. Carmen says, hi, everyone. Hi, Carmen. Welcome in. Welcome in. The water's fine. And Amy said, I tried doing YouTube for my picture book love, but I'm not really comfortable being on camera. Me either. Kim says, I still want their latest plushie, but no money. Oh, only 9 more days to order. Oh my goodness. I only do YouTube as a live, you might have noticed, because there is no way I'm going to record things and watch myself to do the editing because I would be so hypercritical, nothing would get done and I'd feel really badly about myself. So I just do live and go, boom, there it is. People who can do that, great. For me, it's just like maybe talking on the telephone, only it's live. Kim says, I still want, she did that one. Kim, I have the first 3 of them, each a different kitty. Oh, nice. I don't think I've heard of them, but nice. Well, I got some days. Maybe something will happen. I don't know. So, as I mentioned, I'm going to be crocheting and listening to an audiobook of The Blonde Who Came In from the Cold by Allie Carter. We'll do a check-in at the last hour, at the top of the hour. Oh yeah, and at that last half hour, we'll be having our critters, and we've got some cuties. All right, enough of me chatting. Are you guys ready? I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. I'll see you at the top of the hour. Happy reading. Let's go. And that's the end of our first sprint. How did everybody do? I got to page 22, which is 14% in The Blonde Who Came In from the Cold audiobook. And I'm crocheting a couple projects. Kim said she goes live a few times a week and shows the kitties and the goats and the donkeys and their dogs. She and her husband bought property in New York, and there were 16 kitties living on the land. Oh my. 10 now, a couple of originals, and the rest are newer rescues. Oh, wow. And she said, I posted a link in the Pets Pick section of the Discord channel. Awesome. Thank you for doing that. Elena says, good evening. How you doing, Elena? And she says, you're good. Awesome. Did you have a good birthday? I don't think I've heard how that went last week. And she says, I'm reading Reckless by Lauren Roberts. Nice. And Amy said, I just posted my Instagram link in the Killing Time with Cozy's Discord in the follow me thread for anyone wanting to follow me. Nice. Thank you very much. And Emily got to page 155 of 551. Nice. There, Amy said, decided on A Novel Summer by Jamie Brenner. All right. And Amy is on chapter 9. And other Amy got to 17%. Good. Cajun got to 80%. She's getting closer. And Heather did 44 pages. Creepy book. Oh my. And Carmen made it to page 70 of The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. All right. Everybody's doing good. Well, let's keep the party going. We've got another hour and a half to go. We'll do another check-in at the top of the hour. And we'll see how you guys are doing. I need to get a drink. All right. Are you guys ready? Happy reading. Let's go. And that's the end of our second sprint. How did everybody do? I didn't listen to my audiobook during that one. Steve is at a board meeting, and he was saying that he was having a low sugar attack. He's diabetic, and so I just wanted to keep my phone free from audiobook to see how he's doing. I think he's had some pop and some chips, so I think it's under control. Amy said, I made it to 20%. I'm going to get off now. I'm getting tired and have to be up early tomorrow. Thanks for the sprints and good night, everyone. And I said, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Have a good night. And our other Amy said, thanks for sprints and night night. And I said, thanks for being here. Have a good night. Emily got to page 199. I believe it was 551. Kim says, haven't read, been texting about baseball cards with one of the girls I read from. Oh, cool. And Heather, only pages because I got to doom scrolling and book buying. Okay, we approve of the latter for sure. Cajun got to 95%. Oh goodness. Hope Steve is okay. I think so. It was very low. He was definitely having those symptoms. Thank you. Hopefully he's kind of staved it off. I think what happened was he ate before going to the board meeting, and he took too big of a shot to compensate for what he ate. And so it just kind of went the other direction, unfortunately. Carmen made it to page 108. Cajun, cute raccoon. Isn't he cute? He's toasting marshmallows. And Heather says, go Cajun. Yes. So let's get Cajun to the end of her book. We have one more sprint to go. This one is just for 30 minutes. We'll do another check-in at the bottom of the hour. Kim said, we spent so much time collecting in the 80s and 90s. Oh, I bet some of those are kind of worth something now, maybe. Maybe. All right. Are you guys ready? Happy reading. Let's go. And that's the end of our last sprint. How did everybody do? Steve just got home and he's doing better, but he is going to eat something here. He just got back from a board meeting, which is why I couldn't do anything about it. Emily said, my brother is type 1 diabetic, so I get that highs and lows of blood sugar. Yep. And Kim said, some are possibly the baseball cards, but what we have, we couldn't part with. Totally get that. And I mentioned that Steve has had diabetes since his early 20s. Emily said, my brother once didn't wake up from a nap. My mom couldn't wake him. When the paramedics got there, his blood sugar was 0. They said he was lucky as he was moments from slipping into a diabetic coma. Yep. I have also been the passenger in the car when his blood sugar has dropped. Those moments are not fun. Yep. Totally get it. Been there. Emily says, hope Steve is doing okay now. Yep. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's not something to mess with at all. Emily says, oh, best buddies. Aren't they cute? And I love how the ear is on his head. And Kim says, what sweet puppies. Emily got to page 206 and then switched over to Zom Rom-Com. I've seen that covered by Olivia Dade, a rom-com set during a zombie apocalypse, because it still happens. And Cajun finished her book. Yay! Congratulations! Oh, good job. I was afraid you fell asleep. And Kim says, you're type 2 diabetic. My sugar dropped to 30 once. Ambulance to hospital. Yep. The first time I experienced Steve's low sugar, it was, oh gosh, at least 25 years ago. It was early on in our marriage. And he had also had a cold, so he'd had some cold medicine, which he doesn't usually do, because he doesn't do that. And long story short, I was about to take him to the emergency room because I didn't know what was going on until I kind of went, and it must have been maybe around Halloween, because we had the little candy bars. I went and put that in, and he got better. It's nothing to mess around with. I think at that time it had gotten to like 35. Heather is almost to 70%. Good job. Carmen made it to page 127, which is 43%. Just closing in halfway. Cage is glad he made it home okay. Yeah, see, that's the other thing, is you want them home, but you don't want them driving. Cage says, cute babies. Aren't they cute? You just want to go boop on their nose. And Carmen said, yay, Cajun. And Heather said, my top horse, oh, really, is diabetic. And no joke with them either. Oh, I bet. I bet that's a lot of insulin, too. Or is it pills? What do they do for horses? Emily is it's officially a sprint because Cajun has finished, except we're done. And she said, cold medicine has sugar in it. Yeah, but it made him really loopy, and because he doesn't take it. So it was just a scary situation, and it was early on enough that I didn't quite understand what was going on. But learned after that. Yep, candy bar. Stick it in a mouth. And we usually have stuff around too for stuff like that. So, even jelly, they say juice, not so much, but like jelly or stuff like that will also help when there's low sugar going on. Kim said, I get extremely pale when mine gets low. Yeah. The body's a weird thing. And we said they do make sugar-free cold medicine at Halls. Yeah. Those also taste kind of icky, but there's something that he doesn't really enjoy doing any of that kind of stuff. Heather said, I put human medication in his food. Okay. And Elena says, yay, Cajun for finishing. Yay. All right. Well, that was our last one. And our next sprints are on a Thursday evening. Same time. Kim says, I keep lifesavers in my purse. That's a good idea. Steve usually has some like Skittles in his truck. I believe, stuff that doesn't melt. It's always good to have something with you, always. And insulin with you, too, for the other direction. Heather says, yay, Cajun. And Carmen says, thanks. Good night, everyone. You are welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Other announcements. So tomorrow morning is morning show. It is the mysteries and thrillers, or crime fiction and thrillers. It's the darker side for tomorrow morning. You don't have to wake up to watch it live. You can always watch a replay. And then on Friday morning will be the rest of the Cozy Mysteries. Emily says, night all. Yes. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate that. I'm going to hop off here and get something to drink, maybe some tea. We'll see. Do a little reading and go to bed. And let's see. Emily said, night all. Kaden said, night, everyone. And Kim says, hope to see you tomorrow. Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Be safe. Read good books. And as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Om nom nom. Have a good night and God bless.